Okay, so I'm back finally. I've been several days not being able to finish this because got busy with work and other things, life. But now I'm back, and so I just wanted to continue filming what I've done so far. Um, I went ahead and added some weather stripping to the enclosure. I am adding a little bit of super glue because it does tend to want to come up. So I'm just putting a little super glue and then kind of just wherever it needs it. Super glue works great with rubber and plastic. It really bonds fast and well. Good now. So everything is nice and tight. Turn some extra lighting on. So the next step is I'm going to pull the battery out now. Oops. Let's do that. And you'll see all the layers of things I had to put under the battery to make things work. So I'm just going to set the battery here. Okay. There we go. Flip it on over. Put it in place. And then before I press down really hard, I just want to make sure that this is in the right spot. It is. So now I can just kind of squeeze this on down. Same thing applies here. Okay. So now we have all that glued. This would be the last piece. And so now we're going to move on to the battery. There we go. And I'm going to need to take this old piece off and put a totally new shrink wrap on. Let me go get my dryer and we'll show you how to do all that. On this battery pack, we have to put some new hot glue over these terminals. Just cover all this with some hot glue. Letting it pour over. Okay. So now we can stick our little thing over it. Just push it on down. Make sure that locks in nicely. Let that dry for a second. Need to put the new shrink wrap over the battery and start sealing the battery. Not bad. I think I will give it a little bit more heat here. Feel pretty good about that. Just some basic information. The manufacture date, which was 11/15/23. I'm going to just kind of... So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and try to add all these components. So I'm going to get a little piece of tape. Just kind of hold this out of my way. We can start putting in all the things that we need. This is the BMS. Underneath is the ESC. So I'm going to connect that first. Let's go ahead and just remove that there. My little right and left back there. Alright, so here I am cutting some of the hot glue that I put on there a little too much. There we go. Just feeling around. Oh, these came out really nice. I'm just going to clean it up just a little bit. So the last thing we were going to connect was the battery. So we're going to do that now. Take this red tape off of there. Okay. All right, let's keep our fingers crossed. Connect the battery. Nice little pop. All right. So now, the moment of truth. I'll have to just kind of hold that like that to make sure it doesn't flop around. The motors aren't touching anything, so hopefully they will spin the right direction. Get my remote here. Turning it on. Okay, now do my power button. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of go forward. Looks like we are correct. They are both spinning forward. Ooh. Okay. Let's see if we can go to low. Yeah, they are spinning the right direction. If I hold down reverse. Okay, we're good. We're solid. Yes, this is very good news. I'm going to go ahead and shut everything off. Okay, and then shut my power button off. And now I can organize, remove all the tabs, of course, and tape, shrink wrap, all the good stuff. I just put some double stick tape and I am ready to adhere onto this platform and start putting everything together. So let's do it. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little hot glue on these connecting things so they don't lift up. I'm going to put a little hot glue on this. And then a little bit of hot glue on my charging port. A little bit of hot glue on my connector here. Let's go ahead and connect that. Whew. That always scares me. Oh no. I pinched that wire when I was connecting it. Damn it. So let's just go ahead and fix that. Wow, it's Miller time, finally. I need to take a small break, clean up a little bit, and then I'm going to put the rest together. Right on. I'm at the last stages of putting this thing together. So I'm just changing out the bolts that these silver bolts that, first of all, were not quite long enough, so I got ones that were identical but just a little bit longer and black. So that's going to look really good, like that. Look at the size difference between the old, this is one of the original Mad Wheels. This is a 105 by 60 millimeter, 70A hardness. Same hardness as the 125. This is an 80 millimeter, so it's 125 by 80. Big difference in width and height. Hopefully we can get that. So. Nice. Everything's spinning good. And the last thing I need to do is program the gears. Do that with my remote. So we're going to just turn this board on. Okay. Give it a second for the battery to recognize. There it goes. And then we're just going to hold this button down. That'll bring us into pairing, UART, of course. It's an ESC, 12 cells, 7 poles, miles per hour, pull lead. And this is where we need to adjust this. It's going to be 125. Okay. Okay, and then we go to our motor pulley is 15. Wheel pulley is 40. So we're gonna 40. There, and that's it. And then throttle sensitivity 3. Joystick deadband. I need to play with this. I'm not sure exactly how all that works, but I'm just going to leave it alone. Low battery warning on. Red. Speed default middle. Cruise switch off. Reverse on. Gear lock switch off. Distance, got more than that. And then just, we're good to go. So let's see. Woo! Is that even right? It's reading 40.5. Wow. If that goes that fast, I'm in trouble. But yeah, that's on medium. We've got a high setting. Same speed. And then low. So they all go pretty much the same speed. I think this is just a more gentle pull. Definitely going to start it off on low. That's crazy. 40 miles an hour. Well, there it is. Now it's ready to test. Yeah, I'm super stoked. I got to get some pads on because I'm a little afraid of this thing. Let's go ahead and try to get the whole thing on the camera. Maybe I need to square it up here. All right, put some tools up. There we go. That's it right there. Now you should be able to see somewhat the whole board, what it looks like on the bottom. It doesn't look like there's any bulge. I wanted to make it snug, so I did fit the battery so it didn't move around. This thing is a beast. I'm just so stoked about riding it. All right, so I'm gonna get geared up and let's see how it rides. This is the first maiden voyage of the Metro board hybrid. I've got all kinds of different components in here from my old endurance board from M-Boards. M-Boards has taken over some of the Metro board and Hoyt Taylor inventory. So we're going to see how this thing rides. Let's give it a shot. I may have to adjust the trucks. Definitely really loose. right, I adjusted the trucks a little bit. Feels a little better. Had to tighten them up. Turning radius is still pretty good. Nice sharp turns. Nothing like the board setup that I had before, the Endurance. These wheels and pulleys make a huge difference in the power. Man, this thing takes off. Good carvability. Road grime, doesn't seem to phase it. Okay, we got railroad tracks. Let's see how she does. No problem. Woo! A little slip and slide there. I do notice you have to put a little more weight on your back foot on this particular setup to keep it still, but it feels pretty. Super stoked how strong this thing is. We'll stop here at the lights, see if there's anything that's loosened up. All right. Yeah. Feels pretty good. Yeah. Wow. This thing is something else. Turn this thing around. Nothing like a rear handle. You gotta have a handle, in my opinion, especially for a board this heavy. I don't like grabbing it from the rear of the motor guards because this tends to get loose after a while, so it's not a good idea. check something. I hear a little rattle. Maybe it's just my keys, but let's check it out. Screw right here, yeah, that's that screw right there. It's a little loose, but other than that, no big deal. Running really, really good. I can't wait to give the good news to inboards. They hooked me up with this board. I ended up breaking the endurance deck, so it's nice that they hooked me up with this nice board. The enclosure, I had to transfer the battery, you know, the vest, motors, everything. It wasn't easy, a lot of DIY, but I was able to get it done. It looks really nice, runs really nice. Way more happier than the previous board that I was riding. Yeah, it's all good. I want to run on that track. So let's see, let's take a run on it. Tons of power. Nice. Good stopping power. Wow.